Well, folks, welcome to this week's A Sportsman's Life. Look who Mr. Jeff and I have with us. Mr. Whitetail is going to be has been part of our show for a few weeks. Larry is going to impart some knowledge each week and some fun.
It's all fun.
It is all fun, and I am truly honored to be with you guys. I'll tell you what, Luke and I have been doing radio for a while. Almost 11 years, every Saturday morning or throughout the week as well too, and I've had the opportunity to spend time around Jeff through Luke, and I am truly honored to be part of this. And really what my kind of part that I kind of see is kind of a Q&A kind of thing, where we'll talk about different hunting tips, learning about optics, learning about hunting gear, learning about rifles, all those kind of things. Just pure simple information that you may already know, but you know, there are a lot of people getting into the outdoors, so we're going to try to take it very basically and bring it forward.
Excellent. And folks, if you think running with these two rascals is not fun, this is really serious hard work, but we're going to jump into our show, so stay with us every week. Larry's going to be here, Jeff's always with us. We're going to have a great time, and we want you to be right here every week with us.
Alright folks, we're here at the Buck and Bass Ranch with my wife. She's bow hunting, so we gotta kind of keep it quiet here. The feeders just went off. We're gonna get us a hog tonight perhaps, so you stick with us here and we're gonna see what we can do. So, good luck to my wife. Folks, that happened fast. We weren't in the blind probably 15 minutes. That whole group came in. My wife just put the shot on one. Kind of hard to tell. I was looking at the viewfinder, so I didn't see how good of a hit it was, but it sounded good. just ran off. The little piglets just took off. Anyway, we hear some more back in here, so we're just gonna kind of hold tight here for a few minutes and see what we come up with. So, hold tight. Alright. I'm gonna give her 10 minutes. I'm gonna go down and look at that arrow. I think I see part of the arrow down there, so we'll just give her a few minutes here. So, we'll be back.
Well, hello, my friends. It's your old buddy Luke Clayton, and I'm coming to you from out in the woods by my little cabin behind the house here in the trees. I want to talk to you today, maybe get you fired up doing something you're hunting a little different. For years and years, I grew up shooting when I was a kid, 30-30, and I still hunt with a 30-30 sometime. Then I became a bow hunter. That's all I did. What do you hunt with? Oh, I'm a bow hunter. Well, I'm still a bow hunter, but I hunt with other things too. And I found it to be a lot of fun. This is an Air Force Air Guns Texan, folks, 45 caliber. I shoot Nelson Specialty Ammo Swage bullets in this thing. Big old bullets, 240 grains and bigger. I've probably killed 30 hogs just guessing with it. I've killed a lot of exotics, 8 or 10 exotics. I killed a nice buck up on the Dale River Ranch with my Air Force Air Guns Texan. It's a hammer for hogs. Why did I get started in shooting a big bore air gun, or air guns in general? I can answer that. I knew nothing about a PCP air gun that you air up with a tank. And it was just a fun learning curve. And I still love to hunt with my Texan, and I do a lot. Another air gun, this is a Seneca Dragon Claw, and it shoots bullets also, but it shoots the air bolt. You see Mr. Weishuhn, Larry, with us quite a bit. He shot a good eater pig, you might remember recently, with his Seneca Dragon Claw. So, load it with an arrow. Not legal during archery season, so don't worry about that. But during rifle season, it's just something different that you might want to try. Seneca Dragon Claw, 50 caliber. Now, if I want to go out, say I want to hunt hogs at night, I have the Wraith right here by Sightmark. You've seen me bragging on this and actually seen a lot of video of the Wraith. It's digital night vision. It's a day and night scope actually. I've hunted with it during the day. Use it at night also. I mean, it's just shoot a hog at 125 yards on a pitch dark night, no problem. So I have it mounted on probably a little contradictory to what most hog hunters do. They have the ARs, but mounted on a little 223. And I have killed a bunch of hogs. So if I want to shoot a hog at night, I grab this, make sure my batteries are hot in my Wraith, and I go get them. Now, okay, what about the old 30-30? I still like to hunt with it. It's what you stalking hogs in the woods. This little thing is so light. I did mount a quality peep sight on the back. I had to buy another front sight that was the right height. This thing at 75 yards will shoot like a 2-inch group all day long and out to 100. I feel comfortable shooting it out to 100 yards. So another tool that I hunt with. Am I a 30-30 hunter? Sometimes, but not all the time. And then, something that's really overlooked, in my opinion, is small game hunting. This is a Ruger 1022 scoped, and it's an absolute tack driver. I sighted in at about 50 feet, where it's dead on. For squirrel hunting, you can knock the squirrel out of the tallest pin oak tree with this. So, what I'd like you to take away from this little segment here, don't be afraid to try something new. Don't box yourself in that, to the point that you won't try a new sporting arm or a bow or whatever. Try something new And don't forsake, you know, dance with what brung you. I still shoot my, you know, my gearhead bows, and but it's just so much fun, really, folks, to try different things in the outdoors. So we'll get back to our show. Hopefully this will maybe spark you on, if you've never done, I have a muzzle loader in there in the cabin. I still hunt with a muzzle loader every now and then. I still like it. But try something new in the outdoors, folks. I think it might just put the spark back into your hunting.
Well, we're out of the blind. This is where I stood a good job tonight. Maybe an arrow and a hog, as you saw. So we're gonna run back, take a peek on the video, gear up, and I'm gonna go back. I gotta get armed with heavy thermocells. Mosquitoes are thick. Probably thicker than I've ever seen out here. It's insane how thick they are. Anyway, we're gonna head back in, and then I'll go take a quick peek, see what I can find. Let's keep our fingers crossed, huh? Demi's due. All right, we'll be back, folks. Folks, we're heading back out to take a look for this hog. We did look on the video, and my wife did hit it. Perfect shot. Actually, it's kind of funny because the one she was aiming at ducked, and there was one right behind it that she smacked perfect. So go figure. Doesn't matter, but it looked like a good shot. So I left her behind. Mosquitoes are just unbelievable. Thank God for my bug suit here. It does help. We'll be back here in a few minutes and see what we come up with. So stick with me. Okay, that's always a good sign right there. There's her arrow. So let's see what we can find there. Give me just a second. Well, another gorgeous night here at the Buck and Bass Ranch. I'm heading back to give my wife the bad news. Unfortunately, that is called a shoulder hit. Penetration 1 inch. She smacked the shoulder. Found the arrow easy enough with the Luminoc going. That's what's nice about those dudes. And bug suit and thermocell. Mosquitoes are unbelievable. So anyway, well, we'll say so long from the Buck and Bass Ranch. I gotta go get the goat cup out for my wife. She won't be very happy. Until next time. So long.
Folks, as an old outdoors writer, I have used lots of products. Smoking Tex electric smokers. The best smokers that you can find. This is Diz and this is Scott, my buddies. Diz, tell them how they can learn more about Smoking Tex.
Yeah, obviously the #1 source of information is going to be our website. It's got hundreds of recipes, it's got helpful guides, it's got all of our models and our accessories listed there. Of course, we have a phone number, 888-922-1511, and we'll actually answer our own phones.
That's true. And Diz, the main thing, the easy way, smokingtex.com. You can learn all about it.
Correct. And of course, we're on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So take a look at us whenever you can, and whatever social media you'd like, and we look forward to working with you.
Well, folks, it's your old buddy Luke Clayton, and it's time to talk some cooking. I'm out here in the backyard of my home. You'll probably hear Mr. Crow, my rooster, sounding off in a little bit. He's right out here pecking around. But I want to talk to you about a good way to prepare food for camp, to take to camp with you. This is 2 little hams right here that's been cooking in my Smoking Tex about 12 hours. And I'm going to tell you, you probably have the idea, they're very, very tender, very tender. Okay, so what we want to do, I want to prepare some food ahead of time to take to camp and make, say, guisado or even a Mexican stew or whatever. This is smoked with hickory wood for about 10 hours. I covered it last night. I'll turn one of these over and you'll be able to see how tender that is. I mean, it's fall off the bone tender. We could make pulled pork out of this or whatever we want to do, but I'm going to season it up with some more fajita seasoning. I have a lot of fajita seasoning on it right now. Cumin, I'm going to just actually make it ready and freeze it in probably a couple of quart freezer bags. And then when I want to make some guisado or anything with pork, it's going to be tender and it's going to be ready to go. Look how tender this is. I'll just go in here and look at that, fall off the bone. Something will consume that before it hits the ground out here at my house. Anyway, we're going to season this up with, and really whatever kind of seasoning, as long as you have garlic. I've actually put injected garlic into this. By injected, I mean I punched holes in it and put garlic cloves in there. So just a tip, just a little cooking tip for you folks. Cook your meat ahead of time, have it ready, and then freeze it if you want to. Next time I go to wherever I go camping or hunting, I'll take a bag of this with me. Bingo, we can make guisado in a matter of 30 minutes. Hope you enjoyed our little cooking segment, folks, and what I want you to take away from this is when you're hunting, when you're out, or fishing for that matter, do some prepping like this. I mean, you cannot imagine how enchiladas, you can make enchiladas out of this, and I probably will. Cook your stuff ahead of time. That way when you get in from okay, there's Mr. Crow saying good morning to everyone. Cook it ahead of time, make it ahead of time, and then when you go to camp, you can make your meals in just a matter of a few minutes. Well, folks, a couple of years ago, Texas made it legal to hunt with air rifles, big bore air rifles. Now, me and my buddy, Mr. Weishuhn here, Larry has got an air rifle that shoots arrows.
Also known as bolts, I have learned.
Bolts are arrows, and this is the Seneca Dragon Claw, 50 caliber. It also shoots bullets.
It does. I prefer to shoot the arrows because it's a little bit different compared to everything that I've done in the past. I used to tease people, you ever going to shoot a bow again? I said, yeah, as soon as I can shoot it out of a gun. Well, guess what? Now I can shoot a broadhead bolt out of an air gun.
That's
with this
right.
particular model.
And we're out here hog hunting on our buddy Jeff Rice's Buck and Bass Ranch. Got a broadhead on there. Cape buffalo have been killed with this rig.
Right. Keith Warren is taking Cape buffalo, and don't tell him what else he's taking in Africa. So it's a great tool. It's a new way of hunting as far as I'm concerned, and I'm anxious to try it this year.
And Larry, that's part of it. It was new to me when I first started shooting air guns about 9 years. Big bore air guns, PCP guns. It was brand new, and was part of the allure to me. It was something new, and I got to learn about it. Now, so Larry has the arrow hunting with the bolt or the arrow covered with the Seneca Dragon Claw. Great setup. Now, if you want to use, this is what I hunt with. This is Air Force Air Guns Texan. Now, this is the carbine model. They make a longer barreled model that gets a little more velocity, but I've killed a bunch of critters, hogs, and I killed a nice buck with this rig last year. So Air Force Air Guns Texan, this is 45 caliber. They make a 50 caliber, which I haven't shot yet, but this will generate over 500 foot-pounds of energy. So bullets, Mr. Weishuhn's got his arrows. You think, well, what kind of bullets? You'd think, well, it's an air gun, maybe a little light bullet. These are Swage bullets here, and Nielsen Specialty Ammo makes them. You probably can't see them this close, but they're a very well-made, well-designed bullet as far as for air guns, strictly. So Larry, I think we maybe give the folks a good primer in air gunology.
It is. It's a new way of hunting, legal now in Texas. Bows, this one can't be used during the archery season, but it can be used with an arrow during the regular hunting season. So just something new to play with and a new kind of adventure. And if you haven't tried it yet, let me suggest that you do. I think you'll be truly impressed.
I think so, Larry. And for folks that, well, where do I get all this stuff? Pyramid Air is the largest air gun supply company in the world. Just go to Pyramid Air. They have people there that you can actually call if you're going to have some questions. If you don't know someone that's already shooting these big bores, well, Pyramid Air has some folks that can help you out. So hopefully this little tutorial with Mr. Weishuhn and myself, hopefully it'll help you get started in something that's fun to do.
I bet you're like me and you love hunting knives. There are all kinds of different styles, all kinds of different lengths. You know, years ago when I worked as a biologist and also as an outfitter on a lot of the different ranches that we had, when somebody came in, a new hunter, everybody carried hunting knives. And the first thing I would look at is the length of the blade. And I noticed something over the years of doing that. The hunter that carries a sharp-bladed knife, about the length of your index finger right there, probably had a whole lot more experience than the guy that showed up with a bowie knife. Seemed like the longer the knife blade was, the less true experience that hunter had. Over the years, I've used all kinds of different knives. I shot a brown bear, 11-foot, almost 11-foot brown bear in Alaska several years ago with Wayne Wood. And when we got to looking, I'd lost my hunting knife, and the only two knives that we had were two little Swiss Army knives with about 1.5 inch blade. Well, guess what? You can skin out an Alaskan brown bear, a 1,200-pound brown bear with a little Swiss Army knife. So these days there's so many different kinds of knives with disposable blades that work extremely well, like the scalpels that surgeons used to use. I've used some of those, but I'll have to admit I really like the look of a knife is as important to me as some of the other benefits to having a knife. This happens to be one that I get from Silver Stag, and they actually have my name on it. It's a limited edition. And with this one, it's the handles or the grips are made from a buffalo that I shot in Australia. What I'm doing is trying to do a few knives that are available sometimes to the public in a limited edition using antlers or bone or horn or something from the animals that I take. To me, I like the drop point type hunter like this, a drop point type blade, and I like a blade that has got about the same length as my index finger, because with this, when I'm cleaning out an animal, I can reach inside the cavity because I'm usually going to just bring it to where the ribs start, because I'm going to try to save the cape. So I'm going to have to reach all the way up in. With this length blade, I can reach in there. I know exactly where that tip is. I don't have to worry about cutting my finger when I reach in there. I know where I'm making my cuts. And I've gotten to the point to where my feelings are that any hunting knife that's got a blade longer than your index finger is a waste of good metal, because you can't control that knife. I mean, I've used this one for caping, which is a very tedious type situation sometimes, with trying to remove the skin from around the eyes, the mouth, and around the antlers of the horns, and it works extremely well. And it's big enough to quarter an animal and to even bone it out and to cut steaks if that's what you're wanting to do. But I like one that's got a little bit bigger of a handle, so I got a good grip to it and a little bit of a guard, because when your hands get wet, you don't want them slipping onto the blade and cutting. So you got to be careful when you use a knife. As a kid, I had knives all the time, and I've got scars all over my finger. That's why I know what I'm talking about when it comes to some of the length of blade and things like that, because by all means, I probably should have a few digits missing as much as I used to cut myself when I was a kid with a knife. But good hunting knife is one that you want to carry, you want to take great pride in. Sharp knife is very important. Keep it sharp. Carry a little diamond steel with you, or a little or a diamond sharpener stone kind of thing, or a steel that you can hit. And the best way to keep a knife sharp is to keep a knife sharp. Don't let it ever get dull. Get you a good hunting knife. Keep it in a sheath. Now you can also use folding ones. This happens to be a sheath so that you can wear it on your belt so it sits like this, or at a cross horizontal to your body as well too. Kind of like this because it kind of keeps that knife out of the way a little bit. But a lot of good knives out there. Find one that you like, that's your preference. Keep it sharp and use it whenever you get a chance to, which means get out there and do a whole lot of hunting, do a whole lot of fishing, and get you a good supply of fish and meat, waterfowl, whatever.
Well, friends, welcome back. Thanks again for joining us on this week's show. Gosh, guys, we have so much fun doing this stuff, don't you think? I mean,
I know.
This is out of this world fun. I can't tell you how much I appreciate and how honored I truly am to be with you guys.
Well,
and all those folks out there too.
absolutely. And we want to thank you folks for joining us each week. We have fun bringing this stuff to you, and we certainly appreciate you joining us, liking us, sharing us, and joining us for another adventure. We'll have another exciting adventure next week, so stay tuned. And until then, be safe in the outdoors.
And a special thanks to Air Force Air Guns, Dallas Safari Club, Hornaday, Pyramid Air, Nielsen Specialty Ammo, Sightmark, Smoke and Tex, and Striper Express.